hopefully everybody can see up on the screen. We're going to do a quick overview of holiday, and then we're gonna move into a question and answer section with Macy's social media. So today's topic, or today's topics for this call relate to holiday. One of the exciting things that we talked about last year was we rolled out a filmmakers series, and so we're pre-launching that post furlough and COVID and all that fun stuff. So we're going to talk a little bit about our first shoot back. We have a special L'Oreal LUXE holiday campaign with StyleCrew integration that went live this week. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then a lot of you signed up for a survey last month around gifting content creators to support holiday. So we're going to talk a little bit more about what those campaigns look like. And then, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to spend the back half of this call. Adrian's going to lead a Q&A section with Cody, which we're going to introduce you to Cody later in the call. He works for our Macy's social media team, and he's going to be able to answer all of your questions as it relates to social media. So jumping right into it, we're really, really excited about bringing back our filmmaker series. Obviously, we've had to make some adjustments with changing up the processes for how we do shooting, just to make sure that we're being mindful of COVID safety measures and sanitation practices. So we're actually going to be kicking off a shoot next week in New York City. It's just with a select group of ambassadors. We're going to be focusing on holiday fashion, so plaids, black and silver coats, cold weather, all of that feels really good. And we're practicing, outdoor shoots just because there's more space to kind of move. And we're really using this as a test shoot. We want to model a more regular shooting schedule in 2021. So, a mix of kind of outdoor when that's possible, indoor shoots, and then also we would like to get back to some more store shooting. So we'll slowly be rolling that out in 2021. But again, really excited that we are launching with this first filmmaker series in 2020. The next campaign that I want to talk about, very, very special. L'Oreal LUXE teamed up with the Macy StyleCrew to deliver their holiday beauty campaign. And basically, this is a beauty campaign that revolves around giving the gift of beauty. And you can find the sitelet page live. It's macys.com/s/the-style, or the gift of beauty, excuse me. And basically they leveraged some of our own Macy StyleCrew ambassadors to create content with the products that they are standing behind for the holiday season, as well as gifting. So definitely check that out. It's going to be live now through December 20th. And lots of media are going to be driving traffic to this Macy's page. So even outside of Macy's promotions, it's being supported with banner ads on digital that L'Oreal has purchased into. So lots of eyeballs will be on this beautiful campaign. So now we're going to talk a little bit about the survey that was deployed last month as it relates to gifting content creators for Macy StyleCrew. So one of the things that we thought about supporting holiday was, again, everybody's kind of at home, they're on their computers, they're looking to social media for purchasing this season versus like going in store. And so we really wanted to leverage our StyleCrew ambassadors with creating really great gifting content this season. So we teamed up with a bunch of different areas of business to gift out product to our StyleCrew ambassadors so that they could create their content and then tag it to, tag all of the products and then post it on the Macy StyleCrew portal. So that way it can be shoppable. So some of the categories that partnered up with StyleCrew are beauty, jewelry, women, center core, home, and cause. So just kind of a brief look at what these campaigns will look like. We're still kind of finalizing the details, but be on the lookout in email if you signed up for interest in some of these campaigns. You'll be getting information on, how to go about signing up. So in beauty, we have a total of 30 beauty brands. This is a mix of skincare, personal care, cosmetics, women's fragrance, and men's fragrance. The below is just some examples, not necessarily this exact product, but it will be a mix of gift sets and full-size bottles that will be gifted out to the StyleCrew ambassadors to create content around for the holidays. Moving on into the next slide. Jewelry, so both fine and fashion jewelry participated with the StyleCrew to seed out products. So we're looking at fine jewelry programs, box sets for the holidays in diamond, silver, pearl, crystal, and gemstone, as well as fashion jewelry. So we're solidifying the brands that are participating, but kind of more of those fashion gifting statement pieces. And then content creators for Center Core. The women's intimate team requested sort of a small test with some StyleCrew ambassadors to promote some of their holiday offerings. So PJ sets, bodysuits, and slippers are some of the product offerings that you'll see out that our ambassadors are creating content with. And then finally, home. Holiday Lane, all of us are really familiar with all of the beautiful holiday decorations that we have available at Macy's. So assorted boxes with different tree trim and decor are being distributed to our home ambassadors that are passionate about featuring home. And then the last is just StyleCrew always supports the Believe campaign every single year. I know in the past we've always talked about, the importance of the letter writing to Santa and wanting to promote that. This year, Cause Marketing came out with some key products that are going to be a give back to the campaign. And so the Cause team asked StyleCrew if we would partner up with some of our ambassadors to promote some of the key items. So Elizabeth's dress on the left here, this is going to be one of the star capsule collection items for the Believe campaign. So we'll be distributing that out to some of our ambassadors to create content with. And then, of course, this really great Believe bracelet is going to be seeded out to some of our ambassadors as well. Okay, so now we are going to switch gears and kind of open it up. We have a prepared Q&A section. As I mentioned earlier, Adrienne is going to moderate with Cody, who's our Macy's social media strategist. And then we will save time at the end for some live questions in case we didn't answer anything that you guys had covered in this section. So I'm going to turn it over to Adrienne, and Adrienne, I'm going to let you take it away.
Awesome. Thanks, Nora. Hi, everyone. Adrienne here. I see a lot of new faces. Thank you guys for joining and taking the time for this virtual session. I want to introduce Cody, who is part of the social media team here at Macy's. So Cody, can you please tell us a little bit about your journey here at Macy's and how you started, how long, or just your journey at corporate Macy's?
Yeah, totally. So started in social media back in 2012. Yep, 2012. I was working for TI's clothing brand. So it was kind of a funky thing because at the time you got to think no ads. I mean, a little bit on Facebook, nothing on Instagram, no Instagram stories, anything like that. So it was very much like point and shoot. Then over the last years since, it's really been a mix of working with different types of agencies and then kind of blending the worlds and evolving as it goes. So, you guys have seen it firsthand. Social has changed so much now. There's massive amounts of ads, pumped out all the time. There's so many different units now on Instagram. Everybody's coming out with video. There's TikTok, new introductions. So it's been a really interesting ride. And then, about 3 years ago almost, I got a call, and it was from a former colleague of mine who is now running the social team here. And they were like, hey, listen, we want to, reach an under 40 customer. We need to break things. We need to try new stuff. And yeah, so ever since we've been slowly chipping away and getting closer to that under 40 customer. And yeah, so that's it in a nutshell. That was pretty quick, but
Awesome.
brief overview.
Very cool, Cody. So the lay of the land for now, we're just going to ask a couple questions. All you guys submitted awesome questions. I will ask them to Cody. Cody will answer, and at the end, we have about 5 or 6 questions that we will ask Cody that I have here. And then at the end, if you guys have any questions for Nora, for me, for Cody, we'll gladly take them. The chat is available as well, which Nora will be monitoring. Or if you want to ask a live question, we have the hand raising icon. All right, let's get started. Cody, are there any restrictions regarding acknowledgement which holidays we are celebrating, or do we make more inclusive statements like Happy Holidays instead of Merry Christmas?
Totally. So there's been a lot of conversation around this. Obviously, we do a lot internally to support our diversity initiatives and things like that. And so in terms of like having that conversation, I think it really came down to social in a nutshell is all about authenticity, and the brands that win, the people that win, really like focus on that. And for us, we had to kind of look at like where we have equity and what we own. So naturally, every year, Thanksgiving Day parade ends with Santa coming down. So and you see Santa Land, things like that. We have equity in Christmas, Miracle on 34th Street, so on and so on. So for us, it makes sense to talk about Christmas because we've already invested so much into it. When we started looking out, we didn't want to necessarily map out every single holiday, and the reason being, are we doing enough in all of these communities to support all of them? And then B, once you start, deciding, where we do want to focus and where we don't, there comes the issue of, kind of like leaving certain people out, and we're all about inclusivity and driving that home. So, for us, we do, support Christmas, just natural extension of what we do. So yeah, in a nutshell.
Cool. How early should I start posting content?
This is a very personalized question because it depends 100% on your community. So from a brand standpoint, I can tell you that we're starting November 12th. So there's going to be a very firm switch over into holiday gifting, holiday dressing, things like that. That's based on a number of factors, right? So what you see on organic is great content. We work with influencers, we do all this kind of stuff, but there's this massive undercurrent of paid content. And so, massive, to give context to that, a company this size is spending at least $40 to $50 million a year on Facebook and Instagram alone. So it is a massive amount of ads that are targeted to the right people at all those different times and different windows. Within that, we build out our content maps based on whenever those currents are the strongest. So we know that like when we put something in market, it's going to go farther than it would if we weren't doing anything else. When it comes to like individual creators, though, it really is dependent on your community, like, your followers, the people you engage with, the people you follow. What are they talking about? How are they talking about it? One of the things we do on a constant basis is listen across Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, not only to people who are talking to us, but people are talking in the communities that we want to be in or that we are already invested in and want to be a part of. So, my recommendation would be, if you're thinking about when to jump into holiday, just get a pulse on it. There's nothing wrong with asking your audience, like, what kind of content are you looking for? Are you guys looking for holiday gifting? Are you getting into it? If we look at the category, Amazon moved their Prime Day right into October, and that really kicked off holiday gifting in the category. So the sales are already moving. You may have seen the holiday toy book for Amazon just put out. Obviously, we're putting out ours. I just got one from Best Buy. So it's definitely the conversation's going. I would just look at your community.
Awesome. And just to add to that, I've seen so many awesome content coming from our StyleCrew ambassadors because the gift sets are coming into the store. The displays are awesome. So if you guys have it in store, I would suggest why not? It's already there. You guys have firsthand product right there ready for you guys to post. So no problems with us on StyleCrew side for posting content as soon as you see it. Gifting holiday content. Next question. What are some of the social media trends and hashtags we will be seeing this holiday, specifically for Macy's?
Definitely. So we did a massive kind of overall of the hashtags that we use on a brand level. So you'll see Macy's Love, you'll see hashtag Believe, you'll see a hashtag for Santaland. But beyond that, we really culled down like the number of hashtags that are put into the market. Reason being, we have so many things to talk about as Macy's. So it's really important for us to kind of streamline where we're focused. From a creator perspective, though, It really comes down again to the kind of content that you're posting. You know what I mean? Where you kind of want to get exposure to. You know, sometimes we see with hashtags that have a massive amount of usage, it's easy to kind of get lost in the sauce of those large numbers. But if you see something starting to bubble, starting to gain attention, you know, that's where you kind of want to focus. You know, the max you could put in is about 30 hashtags. But, you know, obviously sometimes when you post that many hashtags, it does seem sometimes a little spammy. And there's always the potential of being shadow banned by the platform, which essentially means you've used the same hashtag on a number of occasions, and Instagram goes, okay, wait a minute, like let's not show this content to people. So, you know, my recommendation would be there are a lot of tools that, you know, will help aggregate hashtags. There's HishHash, there's a number of them in the App Store, and they all pretty much do the same thing in terms of kind of, you know, finding those niche communities and allowing you to organize them in a way that works. In terms of just overarching trends, I would say the biggest one is video. You're going to see every single platform. Obviously, TikTok came in and shook things up, and it happens every now and again. But essentially, what's happening is, you know, I mentioned earlier that data piece. You know, all of the data and inputs and targeting and things we have. What's happening right now with the conversations around privacy is a lot of that's being pulled back. So, you know, your availability for attribution, which means like, you know, how if somebody sees an ad on Instagram, we know that they went in the store and bought something. Those kind of things are starting to become more and more difficult to track as more privacy regulations come in across platform. So, you know, with that being said, now the onus comes back to storytelling and creative. To break through and get, you know, where targeting can't necessarily take you. In terms of the vehicle, video is clearly winning. You know, you see LinkedIn has their own type of Instagram stories now. Obviously, TikTok is continuing to kill it. And when we look at things like, you know, IGTV and YouTube, you're going to see a big Q1 push from a brand perspective and likely a lot of creators.
Very cool. Yes, we love video content. It gives the audience more of like an in-depth perspective on, you know, the product. Like, how does it look? How does it feel? What are the details of this product? So here at StyleCrew, we definitely love video content. Next question. What's the best photo and video styles one can use to draw followers and gain more traffic to their Instagram?
The $1 million question. So yeah, so I mean, obviously there's not like a perfect science to it, you know, in terms of like, you know, what works 100% of the time. But, you know, I think the biggest thing that we've seen on our end and I've seen across a number of brands is, you know, are you driving home? It's really twofold. Are you driving home on the authenticity, right? Do people come to your page and know exactly who you are? And are the things you're talking about true to who you are? So if I knew you and I saw your Instagram and this is not really who this is or anything like that, like those are misses, right? So we want to make sure that like our story is being told in the way that we want to tell it. And it's not a one size fits all. You know, I think it's interesting when you look at like influencers across the board, there's a lot of like rates that change in terms of like where people focus. So if we wanted to target moms and we wanted like mom influencers and things like that, there's a significant price increase. Because, you know, there's an interesting, it's interesting when you really target in on who you are and what you're about and what you want to kind of put out there. You're able to open up these doors, whether it's, you know, within Facebook groups or, you know, groups on Instagram and different types of pods, things like that, where you start to find commonalities. And then what happens is your community actually starts to tell you the things that you want to see, like before. So perfect example, we have a YouTube execution we're working on right now. And the creator over the past 6 months has nearly doubled their following, literally just by responding to what people want to see in the comments. You know, hey, what do you guys want to see next? You know, let me know in the comments below. As simple as that. You do get that guidance and you're able to kind of build it up because a lot of the movement, of course, hashtags will help. But at the end of the day, it's, you know, it's word of mouth. It's someone sharing it with a friend or it's someone like actively searching for the content that they need and they're not being served.
Cool. It's awesome information.
The one thing I'll add in there too, in terms of like a creative tool we'll probably get into it in a little bit on the app. So I won't jump ahead.
That's actually a good segue. It's the next question. What, in your experience, is the easiest app for creating social media content, something that's helpful for ambassadors?
Totally. So, you know, it depends on your aesthetic. I know the most popular one is definitely VSCO, VSCO. Personally, I use Filmborn. When I'm shooting, Filmborn allows you to take more of like the analog cameras and take more of those kinds of photos, but it really depends on your taste. In terms of where I would recommend, Lightroom for sure. Downloading Lightroom on your phone or on your computer The phone app is free to an extent. They have premium options, but just kind of understanding the tools and then testing and learning, right? So, these tools give you the opportunity of having an infinite amount of filters and an infinite amount of freedom in terms of, the colors that you use and what works. So I'll give you an example. In 2014, 15, we're working on the IHOP account. So that algorithm on Instagram was still, wide open. There were no real ads on there. They hadn't introduced ads on Instagram yet. So it was just kind of a wild west in terms of organic reach. And what we saw was when we put like a light blue wash on the images, when we were like going in the restaurant shooting, it got significantly more engagement, like over 20% more engagement. So we drilled down as simple as that. We took our photos. We had the same kind of filter treatment throughout all of our content. And it was over a 300% increase in following in the year. Obviously, the algorithm has changed, but the hack hasn't. It's just, find what works, test a lot, and then apply. Test, learn, and iterate.
And did you say film born? How do you spell that?
Yep. So film, so FILM, and then born, BORN.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Last question that we have prepared here is, how do I capture a broader audience? Which I think you touched upon in all your questions that you answered, but any other tips that you have? Yeah,
I would say it seems counterintuitive, but the best way to get that broader audience is to focus in on your niche or your niche, and then finding out what it is that you're about, the conversations you're having. And naturally, when you have that small growth, I think a lot of people get turned off when the growth is small, when it's only a couple of followers every week, whatever it is. But that's kind of the slow burn. That's how it works. That's just the nature of social. And all you need is it's like music in the sense that all you need is one hit to really take it off the charts. So, when you're looking at your Instagram profile, do you have highlights? Are they organized by the things that you want to talk about? Does your feed feel cohesive? Does it make sense in when people are scrolling through to kind of see what you're about and what you're interested in? When people look at the comments, are you actually replying to people? These are huge things that not only tell other people that you add value to what they're looking for, but also tells the algorithm that, hey, this person is very engaged in our platform. They're a key user for us, and we need to help support that. Whether that's ending up in somebody's Explorer page or just ending up in someone's algorithm in terms of like the post that they're most likely to engage with.
And Cody, I know me and you spoke about this before. Can you tell our audience here about Instagram and being able to see your analytics and your insights? It has to be a business profile, correct?
Yeah, it has to be a business profile. And then a lot of those things, open up in terms of, when's the right time to post, where are people, following you from, things like that.
Yeah, and you can see your demographics, if there's more males or females following you, what post gets the most like, what time. I think it's really cool. And the only stipulation is that it has to be a business profile, which I think you have to link to your Facebook. I'm not too sure. But Cody, can you expand more about, the Facebook? I know our program is very Instagram heavy, but there are ambassadors that have a great following and post on Facebook. Can you talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah, so this is the funniest part, right? So I know Instagram is always that key influencer, avenue, right? Because there's so many influencers on Instagram that are making considerable money. So I think, that always gets the spotlight. But going back to that community piece, where is your community having a conversation? And the reality is, your community might not be having a conversation on Instagram, or just not in the numbers that you'd want. So it's really about going to where the conversations are happening. So I talk to a lot of people who maybe have, a handful of followers on Instagram, but I have these massive conversations on Facebook. I mean, 40 comments, 50 comments, going back and forth, talking about stuff, having opinions, conversations. Take advantage of it. Create content. One of the biggest things right now is LinkedIn's like the Wild West in terms of algorithm. It's kind of in that place as they kind of find their footing. So they're introducing video, they're introducing all these things. And what you're seeing is creators that really come out and say, hey, listen, I'm going to start making video content talking about my expertise and what I know about. And the conversation is just naturally building up because people are going to LinkedIn and looking for a conversation about, careers. What do I need to know? What are the trends on the horizon? Things like that. And there's people really taking advantage of that influence because it's wide open. So whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever it is, just go with the conversation that, you are already involved in, or the conversation that you want to be a part of, and just actively and authentically go into it.
That's great insight. Yeah, that's really helpful. And just to reiterate to our ambassadors, everything on your storefront is linkable. So if you want to send a product link, if you want to send your storefront channel link, if you just want to send a content link, that's all being able, you can send it through your Twitter, your Facebook, your Instagram. So go where you have your authentic conversations, is what I took away from Cody's spiel here. So the next, now we'll take open questions for any of our ambassadors that we have on the call. There's a chat going on. We also have the hand raise icon. If you want to ask Cody any questions, or Nora or I. We also want to mention that today's call will have 15 lucky winners. You can either receive a letterboard or a notebook and pen Macy StyleCrew swag.
Can you
Okay,
hear
it
me?
looks like we have a couple of hands up. I think the first one I saw fly up was Layla.
Hi guys, I just have a really quick question. So this is kind of like Macy StyleCrew technical for the portal. When you're going to upload things, what if a product is like if you type in the web ID and it's not there? Like maybe it was a newly launched product such as like the Olivia Culpo products or the Danielle Bernstein stuff. What would you recommend doing?
So Layla, that's actually a really good question. So our product feed on the portal mimics Macy's.com, but there is a delay. It's usually 24-hour delay. So if it's up and it's a brand new item that's up on Macy's.com, what ends up happening is the end of each night, our tech team sends the product web IDs over to TV page to update them. So my suggestion would be to wait 24 hours to see, because usually it's literally just a feed that takes 24 hours. And then as soon as they get the list, then they update our technology. But if you're finding every once in a while, something could be, missed. But yeah, I would say that if you don't see it reflected within a day or two, definitely email Macy's StyleCrew at Macy's.com. Let us know the web ID, and we will have our tech team manually add it. But again, I just want to reiterate that the feed on Macy's web portal, or excuse me, the feed on StyleCrew's web portal reflects Macy's.com. So like if there's a special item that's in the store that's not sold on Macy's.com, it won't actually be able to be something that can be inputted into our portal.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
We have on the chat from Gabby saying, hello everyone, how do you feel about StyleCrew members posting content in different languages to target a specific client base? I think it's great. I see specifically the store, I think it's Las Plazas in Puerto Rico, posting in Spanish, and we don't get that many, so I always try to repost it on the stories. But it's just like when Cody was mentioning, be authentic to your audience. Like if it's Spanish, if it's Mandarin, any language that you speak, or if you know that your clientele speaks that language and you know it, go ahead. We're all for that. I think it's really awesome.
It looks like we have another hand raised from Vivian McLean. Vivian?
She's saying, does anyone else have difficulty linking product to their storefront using an Android phone, or is it a user issue? Nora, I think we about this.
Yeah, so does anyone have difficulty linking product to their storefront using an Android phone? So I don't know about linking product on an Android device. That sounds like it might just be a user issue. So if that pops up, definitely email Macy's StyleCrew at Macy's.com. If you can, it always helps us to just take a quick screenshot of what is showing on your device. Unfortunately, Adrian and I don't know the answers to the tech questions, but we can then forward your picture over to have somebody fix it. But you do bring up a good point on posting to like Instagram. So when you're posting on the Shopfront platform, you are able to sync your posts through social media. It really depends on your phone model and the device that you're using as to what type of capabilities that it will offer. I know sometimes like I've heard from some ambassadors who have like older Androids, it won't let them post in Instagram both on the feed and in only let you do stories. That's not actually an error on StyleCrew's end. It's really relates to the device and what type of generation of phone that you have. But if you're ever having difficulties just straight with the app itself, like you can't load something, that is probably something that we need to investigate. So definitely email us. Don't sit and struggle. Just let us know and we'll get on it right away.
And that brings up another good point that I've been hearing from ambassadors. The storefront app, it's not like you don't have to use it if you don't like it. It's more just for on the phone. It's easy access on your iPad, on your phone, but we still have the regular TV page platform where you could do it on your desktop if you're more comfortable. You can download the app. It's not a mandatory thing for the program. It's just an easier way to upload content. I think Dinesha had a question. I saw her raise her hand earlier.
Yes, it's Dinesha.
Dinesha.
Yeah, you're fine. I actually have 2 Instagram accounts that I've been using to kind of do my my styling and my blogging or whatever. And I really wasn't sure what the guidelines were specifically about having, multiple Instagram accounts that you use, because I do have one that I've like generated a following on, but like I just started to utilize it and kind of like change it a little bit to make it more appealing to my Macy's clients. But then I recently made a Instagram account for my Macy's clients. So is that okay for us to do, or do you guys prefer us to just have like one Instagram account where we do all of our Macy's StyleCrew stuff on?
Adrian, you want me to tackle that?
Sure.
Okay, so we actually don't have a point of view as far as like, we don't require you to use any type of account. You don't have to set up anything, special. I'll use me and Adrian as your example. Adrian has a great following on her personal account. She has a very dedicated audience. She uses her personal account to put out information on StyleCrew and do all of her StyleCrew work. Me, on the other hand, I'm mom. I'm a little more like private about my child being out on social. I created something separate. So I actually have 2 social media accounts, 2 Instagram accounts, and only use one for StyleCrew. So it's really personal preference. You can also create 2 and test it. See if people are responding on your personal, or create something that is only for your clients and kind of see. But it's really whatever works for you and how you want to drive the business.
And there's no numerical, like you can only have 2 accounts for StyleCrew. Like you can have your Facebook, link it to your Facebook, post onto your Facebook, your Twitter. I mean, everyone is in social these days, so there's no like, and plus we can't, it's too much to track. So like use your link how you want to.
Okay.
Marla, I think your hand was up. It'll be Marla and then Mindy.
Yes, so I had a question about the do's and don'ts. So through our store, we have pricing like everywhere. So if we are doing content, when we're creating a video, when we're doing our StyleCrew videos to show content that's on the floor, how do we go about that so that all those pricings and things aren't being shown?
Yeah, that's actually a great question. So I think like, obviously it depends on what type of content that you're generating. If you're doing, like Marla, I know you've been really active in the past doing like videos and stuff like that, and you're walking all around the store. I think that it's fine if it shows up in the background, but what we don't want is I'm just making this up, cashmere sweaters might have a special Black Friday price of $19.99.
Yeah.
We don't want like standing next to the $19.99 sign calling out, hey, these are $19.99.
Okay.
Like, we understand that like there's going to be sale signage, but like as long as it's sort of like you're walking through the store, you're not actually like focusing in on the price or the promotion. If
Right.
there's things in the background like, you know, the Believe campaign, or there is signage up, it's like it should be sort of like background noise. It shouldn't be like
Okay.
the focus of
Right.
your content. So that's kind of what we're saying. And
Okay.
the beauty about the StyleCrew link is it's actually a way to encourage your audience to click into your content to look at what the price is. So that'll like automatically force people to click into the content, which is going to help all of the ambassadors out, because we're paying out on the unique views. So the clicks into the content. So anything that you can do to message, you know, clicking into my link to find out the price,
Right.
or clicking in here, it's only going to help you with your monthly targets, you know, month over month of what you're trying to like hit.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
Carla, just to add on to that, we've seen a couple ambassadors be really creative with like the fitting room area, just to like clear out the noise of like the signage.
Yes.
The fitting room area, also like the waiting area before the fitting room, because there's like a couch, there's like a nice plant there usually, or there's like some mirrors that really, you know, clear out the clutter of like the signage, the hangers, and the metal stands. So if you just look at, you know, our portal and see what other ambassadors are doing, you can get some inspiration there. But we've seen some really creative things going on.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so a little bit of lay of the land, because we got a lot going on here. If you've asked a question, you no longer have a question, can you take your hand down? We're gonna hear from Mindy. Mindy, if you still have a question, and then after Mindy, I'm gonna respond to some of the questions that are coming in through chat. So Mindy, take it away if you still have a question.
Okay, hi, Nora and Adrian. And I don't know how I won the gift the last time, but I won that beautiful gift. And it's really cool, so thank you. Yes, the bag and the book and the pen, etc. So my question is I'm wondering if there's a way to almost send out like a step-by-step, or because I'm kind of getting confused myself with posting or doing the initial post on my desktop, then bringing it into my Instagram on my phone, or starting everything on my phone and then immediately, or being able to put it into Instagram. And I have some clients that I know are not on Instagram, but my understanding is that I could send them the link to my storefront so they don't have to be on Instagram. So I have all these kind of multiple questions that I would like to get my route to do it properly for what I need my clients to see, whether it's Instagram or just a storefront link on, you know, on a URL. I hope I made that clear.
Yep. So we have, I'm not sure if we're following or you're following us on StyleCrew Central on Instagram.
I just started. You had just sent me the link of approval. So
oh, perfect. So you will find there 2 videos on how to find your ambassador channel link, exactly to answer all your questions, how to send over a link, how to find your channel, how to upload a content on the storefront app. It's very, very similar to how to do it on the regular TV page platform. So I think once you see those, I don't think you would have any questions on how to upload, because it literally is a step-by-step process, including text as well, of this is how you upload and this is how you send your link, whether it's a product link, a channel link, or a piece of your content link. So I would hope that that would answer all your questions. I don't know, Nora, if you have to add anything else.
okay, yeah, I will check that out. And then just so that, so if let's say I get all the way to the end and everything's posted and someone clicks on a particular product, that would then take them to the page on Macy's.com of the product? Is that correct?
Yeah, it takes it to what we call our Macy's sitelet page. So that's macys.com/style-crew. And from that page, it will allow you to click into the individual products that were in your photo or video, and then it takes them right to the PDP page, and then they would be able to complete the purchase. So it's just it's just that your ambassador link will drive them to the PDP page ultimately if you tag the items that are in your photo or video.
And when they get to that page to purchase, do we as stylists get credit for that? Do we know that our client, we do? Okay. Because
So-
but we haven't actually handled the actual transaction. It's
Correct.
the client actually buys it themselves.
Yeah, correct.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what might help, Mindy? We're going to send you a link after the call
Okay.
to some of the videos. You can either look at them on the Macy's Instagram handle or a link to the YouTube videos that kind of walks you through the different technology features.
Okay.
But you do have visibility into your own analytics to see if you've made any sales, if you know, how many people looked at your content, but all of that is there and we can point that out to you. Okay, so you're welcome. I'm going to take just a couple of minutes here to just kind of answer some of the questions. It looks like we've got a lot coming through the chat. So Gina asks here if we have marketing materials to promote upcoming Macys.com like sales and friends and family. So StyleCrew doesn't actually provide content. Our whole sort of objective as a program is that you're creating content. And because we're not speaking directly to like sales or pricing, we just want you to, you know, again, I'm just making this up. We'll use that cashmere sweater example. If cashmere sweaters are a part of the friends and family, create some awesome content around those cashmere sweaters and tell people that it's a part of the friends and family promotion, but it's really about getting your own authentic content out there and then tying it to the sales. So we're going to try in the newsletter to have some more tips and tricks about, you know, getting more ideas and inspiration out there for what you can possibly take pictures of. But we don't actually have a toolkit of marketing assets that we push out. Vanessa here asks us about the Filmmaker series, and she wants to know if there's any place where she can follow the behind the scenes. So Vanessa, we will post, we post the behind the scenes in our StyleCrew Central. If you're following us there, we always do like a post recap. But we will have something kind of fun coming out of this, you know, relaunch of the Filmmaker series that we will be able to show. But if you want to see it kind of in real time, follow along with us next week, Wednesday, Thursday, where we'll be posting some highlights on Instagram.
Yes, Nora, we have the highlight BTS, and those have all of the highlights that we've done from all past Filmmakers.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Adrian. So if you're on Instagram and you're looking at the StyleCrew Central page, look in highlights. And Adrian just reminded me that we have all of the past ones there from last year. Okay, somebody, Latanya says, I'm seeing a lot of StyleCrew posts with music contents. Are we not allowed to use music? If so, is there a music library that I can access? So that's a great question. It's been in the newsletter for the past 2 weeks. The short answer is that we cannot use music in StyleCrew posts. The reason for that is because when you post on behalf of StyleCrew, you're actually posting like a commercial post on behalf of the brand. So versus, you know, me wanting to post a family, you know, video that has nothing to do with StyleCrew, I can use music because I have rights to that. But when you're using it in conjunction with Macy's, we actually have to pay for usage. We are exploring a potential music library that StyleCrew ambassadors could leverage. That's not in the works quite yet. We're working through some different conversations with legal, but be on the lookout next year for an update. But for right now, if you're posting on behalf of Macy's StyleCrew, you cannot put music in your videos. Another quick question that came here was on the do's and the don'ts. You know, what brands can't we post on? It's really our luxury brands, so like Valentino, Chanel. If we are doing something special with them, we will let you know that we've been granted, you know, access to being able to create content on the brand. But basically, anything that's coming out of the holiday gifting campaigns, we've all been given rights to be able to post and talk about. Okay, I'm going to stop here and I'm going to read some of these so I can go through quicker. Adrian, you want to pick somebody with their hand up?
Sure. Tashia? Tashia, do you have a question? Hey.
Yes. Hi, everyone. I just had a question in regards to posting in your stories on Instagram. How do you add a swipe up link so that people can go directly to your portal from your story?
So swipe up, I believe, is a capability that you have once you reach 10 or 15K followers. Some of our ambassadors have that available. Cody, is that right?
Yeah, it's 10. Yeah.
It's 10. So that, like, if you have 10, you have that capability, and you can do it right. I've seen ambassadors do it right to their channel link, right to the actual product link as well. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you.
Yep. Liliana Collins, what's your question?
Hello, it's me, the new one in all this.
Hi.
Sometimes I ask my kids, and they have a good answer. Yeah, my question is, finally, I got to have my link in my bio. Or was easier for me to do it through my phone than actually in the laptop, because I don't know, for some reason, every time that I put my my link in you know, in the storefront for Instagram, for example, they say that it's not the right one. So I'm really stuck in that easy part to get the URL for my Instagram. So I found it easy when I put my app in my phone. One of my colleagues actually was walking me through that. I thank for that. And then I copy into my bio, because that's the only way for people to go and see my storefront and the product and everything that I have there. Because Instagram, yeah, we found out it's not like a Facebook or other social media that you can just send a product for people to open it. So just I have to say, go and visit my bio. That's the only way. Now, once I put some picture, for example, of, let's give an example of guests. So I want to pause and put more products in my storefront of guests. But when I go and search for the product and add it, I don't see the same things that I'm showing in my pictures in my Instagram for people maybe to go and click and maybe want to buy them or something. So, but instead, they can go into Macy.com. Now, if somebody wants to purchase something using Macy.com through my storefront, do I get any credit as well, or is only the products that I post in my storefront?
So that actually answers a question, I think, on the chat as well. So let's say, so you do get the credit for that. So let's say I go into, I'm a customer of yours or I'm a follower of yours, Liliana. I go into your My Fall Favorites post and I like that you posted, you know, this Urban Decay palette. I click into your Urban Decay palette and, you know, like well, might as well, let me start doing some Christmas shopping. I'm getting socks, I'm getting cookware. So everything that I purchase from going into your link, you will get the credit for.
Okay, so, that's because many times I cannot find the products. Why is any limitation for me to put the products there?
No, you should be able to see the products. Let me know. Email us at Macy's Style Crew. Send a picture of what products aren't working. Like I think Layla mentioned before, and Nora, it's a 24-hour process if it's new items, but if it's already on .com, it should be able to link. So let us know which products aren't linking for you. We have about 8 minutes until this call ends.
I'm going to do a quick run through of what's come through here, and then we can finish with maybe like two questions. So somebody here asks about if they're going to get updated images. The only thing that they have available to them right now is summer wedding themed images. Again, I think that you may be confusing StyleCrew with like a different toolkit that you might be getting through like Virtual Sellers or My Stylist. StyleCrew doesn't provide any sort of social content. The whole idea is that you're creating your own authentic content. So we wouldn't be the ones that would be able to refresh your toolkit. Another question comes here from Brittany. She wants to know about if there's a way to figure out who's clicking into your tools to use them as, sorry, who's clicking into your link so that you can outreach. Unfortunately, our technology doesn't have the capabilities to tie back to, you know, who actually made that purchase or who's clicking in and viewing your content. So that's not something that we have capabilities of today. Somebody asks about receiving a social media guideline packet. We don't actually have a social media guideline packet. We do have some social media do's and don'ts and content inspiration in our 2020 ambassador guidelines that gets sent out at the beginning and of joining the program. If you need, sorry, I think somebody's unmuted. Okay, so if you need the guidelines sent to you, just shoot us an email at Macy's, StyleCrew@Macys.com. Layla, you bring up a great question here. What if somebody clicks into my link and they end up buying a different product? Do I still get credit for that? Absolutely. So the great thing about Macy's StyleCrew platform is that you can kind of follow the clicks. You can even see what items are purchased. So you get credit for everything that happens on your link, regardless if you know, let's say you took a video or a photo of like a beautiful dress and somebody ends up buying a KitchenAid mixer. That is the beauty of the program, and you will get incentivized, you know, based on the unique views and the sales if you're, you know, doing a contest, all of that fun stuff. So if you need a refresher on the incentives and the commission payout, it's page 5 in the ambassador guidelines. And again, if you need the ambassador guidelines resent to you, email us at StyleCrew@Macys.com. And then let's see here. Somebody's asking about adding a product link directly into a story. I don't know, Cody, if you're still around. You can't insert links into stories on Instagram, right?
Yeah, no, not unless you have that follower account that allows you to swipe up into it.
Okay, so what you can do is there's the tagging of images. You can just do one of those like click in bio images that you could place on top of the content that you create, or you could do, you know, hashtag link in bio just to kind of drive people back to your content. Abina asks a really good question here about music again. What if it's royalty free? Again, that goes back to the conversation that was having earlier about the fact that it's not necessarily the royalty free music that poses the issue. It's fine to use royalty free music when you're posting about, you know, everyday weekend life that has no affiliation with Macy's. But when you put Macy's into your post and you're saying, you know, essentially that you're a Macy's StyleCrew ambassador, it's Macy's that becomes vulnerable, and they're the ones, because we are a commercial brand, that will get charged, you know, fees by the Federal Trade Commission for posting music when it's really being intended for commercial use. So again, we just want to avoid that.
So if you see one of your content uploads removed, it's because our tech team is reviewing that it has either signage in the picture or music into the post that's living on the portal. So just so you guys know. We have a couple questions that Francois has been raising his or her hand for a very long time. What's your question?
Yes, I wanted to, the first question I wanted, I don't know if you guys can hear me.
Yes. Hi.
Yes, okay. So for the newsletter, I gave my personal email. I was wondering if it matters if I should give you the Macy's, because now I use the Macy's more often because I'm a virtual seller, so I check it almost every day. Unlike before where I was using my personal more. Does it matter? I mean, I've used both. It doesn't
matter.
That's a great question. I feel like you guys are reading my mind. So if you want to change your email address, let's say that you're using a Gmail now, but you'd rather use your Macy's, do not sign up for another StyleCrew account. You can go into your own profile and you can change the email line to whatever email that you want. I would definitely say if you're in Macy's a lot more than your regular Gmail, I would update it to reflect the one that you want. The other thing to just kind of note, if you're on the call now and you're like, whoa, I haven't been receiving any email communication, I would strongly urge you to go back into your account and check which email that you have. I know coming back from furlough, a lot of the store positions that maybe once had a Macy's email access no longer have Macy's email access. So you might be one of the ambassadors that we're currently not talking to because we don't have an updated email. But again, whether you use Gmail or Macy's email, it really doesn't matter. I would just say use the one that you're going to check and see frequently, especially to receive that newsletter that gets deployed on Fridays. Adora?
Hi. By the way, I received my mask. Thank you for this.
Yeah, of course. Oh, cute.
So, yes. So my question is on the storefront, on our storefront, on our personal storefront, there are already products that's already automatically populated in our storefront. If we share those links, do we also get credit on them?
So sorry, so say it again. So you post on your link?
No, on our storefront site, you know,
Yes.
when you post, there are already products or merchandise that's already in there, and it's already populated with lots of merchandise.
Yeah.
That we post, it's already been there. It looks like we can take a link, we can copy the link and share this.
Yes.
So do we also get credit for it if we share?
Yes. If you copy the link to the product, and let's say you want to send the link to a pair of denim to one of your clients, and you take that link and you send it directly, if they purchase it or if they click into it, then yes, you will receive credit for that.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thank you so much, Adora. It's 3 o'clock. I know we have a bunch of meetings right after, so we have a hard stop. But we wanted to say, Cody, thank you so much for taking the time out for our call today. We know we've been hearing in the chats too that this is a great virtual session. Like, you guys have awesome questions and we'd love to answer them. So we will be doing more. So be on the lookout for that. Nora, do you have any last parting words?
No, these are really, really great questions. Feel free to always email MacyStyleCrew@macys.com for any, questions, issues. Definitely don't sit, especially during the holiday season. If your technology doesn't seem to be working right or you have questions, please email us. We check it daily. We wish you guys all a healthy, happy holiday season, and be on the lookout, like I said, in the newsletter for a lot of these exciting things that we talked about earlier. Thank you, guys. Have a great afternoon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.